guys, thanks for tuning in. This is Optibotimus coming at you with another video review. And today we're going to be taking a look at the new Transformers Titans Return Titan Master CRASHBASH. Or his squeeze plate, as he is sometimes referred to as. We'll get into all of that here in a little bit, so just setting him off to the side. He's actually the only one that I can really do this with, so it's actually pretty cool. But for the package, you can see very, very tiny on these. What you basically get is just the little Titan Master head guy in a little vehicle form. For the package, bringing this out, you can see the package is just about 7 inches, so it is very small, just so you have an idea of what you're getting. But you got the real cool image of Fort Max, specifically Emissary there in the back. You got the Transformers text right there with the Generations logo. You can run here to the back, and it shows that these Titan Master figures are compatible with any Deluxe, Voyager, or Leader size figure. So you can take CRASHBASH if you wanted to, and you could put them on Power Master Optimus Prime, or Blaster, or even Fort Max if you really wanted. I think it's really cool that they're able to give us, characters in this sort of way without necessarily giving us full releases of them. I think these are actually really very cool. But for the packaging, that's about it for him. So without further ado, let's get him out here and see how cool he actually is. Alright guys, so here we have CRASHBASH open up and out of his packaging. And as you can see, he is really, really very, very tiny. Basically, you're looking at like a legend scale sort of figure incorporated with the Titan Master, which is actually inside there kind of controlling him, which is really cool. Now, like I was saying, CRASHBASH, specifically like the head more so, is kind of an homage to the Squeeze Play. Which here is Squeeze Play, and what you basically have is a comic book only, I believe, character that didn't get a lot of really notoriety because he wasn't in any kind of TV show, at least to my knowledge. But these were smaller little headmaster sort of figures. So you come around here, you take out this little guy. Here's his little headmaster. I mean, these are smaller than the standard headmasters that we got. And for a comparison on that, this is a typical size headmaster. So you can see, these guys were pretty small. And while you can kind of get, a monster sort of look with it, I mean, it's kind of weird. It's got like these little pincher claws and like a snake head and everything. You have that, and then you got a beast mode kind of for this guy. So I can kind of see where they were going. Now, the actual Titan Master resembles this guy a whole lot more, which I think is the general idea that they're going for. In the original comics, this guy had a separate name. He was the Nebulonian, or Nebulon, or whatever you want to call him. So transforming him, you just rotate his head or his legs, and there you have his little head section. So we'll just set that off to the side. And now with this guy, you can see that, like I said, he's just basically like a little legend size figure, but on the inside here is actually where the Titan Master fits. For articulation, the legs can move forward and back. I'll come down so you can actually see. These little bits, which are the arms for the Titan Master, kind of move. There's a small range of motion right there, not a heck of a lot. The head's pretty much locked into place. I guess you could say that he's got a little tail right here. Essentially, this guy is a triple changer. This is one of his modes. The second mode being a gun, so you would just take this, fold that down, you take this section, fold this back up. Now, obviously, you can leave the Titan Master inside the body if you want to. I'm going to just rotate these legs down. There's actually little tabs that will lock into place along the side right here, and straightening that all out. And here you have a gun. How that actually works, I mean, here's I'll bring in Cerebros, and he didn't get a gun, so I'll give him this guy as a gun. You can see that peg-wise, it kind of fits in there. You kind of have to force it in there, but there you have him holding the gun. I mean, it's an extra little thing. I guess it's kind of cool. You could do that. Obviously, he wouldn't be holding. Oh well, he wouldn't be holding a Decepticon gun. But these are a little bit obviously tough to get in there. So wedging this out, get a little leverage there, pulling that guy out, and I'm just going to set him off to the side because we're going to use him in a little bit for some more size comparisons. So get that right there. Actually, and then the whole thing. I detached a whole bunch of stuff. I'm sorry. And let's see, now it's going to go like that. Yeah, there we go. So you got that. For a deluxe size figure, here is the Sunstreaker. You can take that, and it kind of fits in there. as well. If you squeeze it in there some, you can kind of get him in there. So again, it holds decently. I mean, I don't really think it's that big of a kind of a gimmick, I guess. But you got kind of like a gun sort of thing right here. So setting these guys all off. Now, the I guess third mode would be a bit of a bird mode. So you rotate this around just like so. These pieces right here, you're going to separate these along the sides. Get that, pull that out. And then you can rotate these around, rotate these around. Now here you can take him out. It just tabs in. I'm just going to set him to the side. Then you want to angle all this stuff. So basically, this is him as a bird, and you can take this, and you can tuck that up if you want to, and you create basically a bird kind of thing for him. Leaving this down actually does give like an extra prong for him to stand on. Now, Crash Bash here, you can take, and you got little tabs right in here that the little holes can fit into, so you just put that in there, squeeze that in there, have him sitted down like that, and you can actually have him kind of flying this guy around, I guess. I don't know. Again, it's the gimmick that's along with it. But you do basically have a little bird guy that, you know, you can fly this whole thing around. I actually kind of like the little dinosaur looking thing a little bit more, but you don't have to have that in there. It's just something where he can pilot it and then just straighten those out. Good detail on here. Nice sculpted detail for the actual bird. You can see that the head here is actually made whole by the bottom section right here. You can kind of see little jagged edges. Those make the bottom section of his teeth right here, which is actually kind of cool. So setting him off to the side, there we have Crash Bash, and again, basically the same exact size as all the new Titan Masters. It is a new sculpt on everything. I don't see anything that's reused. Body is different, head is different, arms are different, thighs actually look different as well. The lower part of the legs all look different. Obviously, the back of the head is different. Articulation-wise, the head will rotate. You got a small little ball joint right in there. You can rotate the arms. Those are also on a little ball joint, so you can get a little outward motion with them. The hips right here move forward and back. The lower section of the legs are all one piece, but they're hinged here at the knee, so you can actually bend those as well. Now, coming in to get a little bit closer of a look at the guy, really very cool, though. I'm really happy with how this turned out, and this is where the homage comes from. You're going to transform his head, and again, you know, they are roughly the same exact size as the other heads. He's a little bit tinier, but this is what you're looking at for the kind of homage that they did with him. You can definitely see the cues that they took from the original. You got some nice red painted eyes in there as well, but in general, this is original figure is what they were going with this guy. And I think that actually turned out really very nice. I like the purple all the way throughout. Now, I left Cerebros out here just to kind of demonstrate that you can take him as well, and you can put him on there. That you do get the transformation sound as well because it locks in. But basically, you know, I don't have any of the deluxe size figures, so I would probably say he's deluxe size. I mean, he might actually be Voyager because he is a little bit smaller than a Sunstreaker here. So this might be more Voyager scale or just in between, but you can see that that head fits on there perfectly fine. You can take him off of a Cerebros here. Blaster, and again, you can take this, you can lock that in just like so. That will still fit in there, and then you can still take this, rotate this bit out, that'll kind of lock in, and you can put that on there, which looks weird, to be totally honest, because that head does look a little bit smaller on him than this guy's did. So taking this off, you can see that because of the way that the outer head is, the Blaster one does sit a little bit higher, so it works a little bit better. But looking at the size comparison here, these guys, yeah, they are basically, in terms of their little robot mode, the exact same size, but Blaster's head is a little bit longer. So when you put this guy on there, it does have a little bit of kind of a gap sort of thing, and it doesn't, the visor doesn't come all the way down his actual eyes, but it is interchangeable so that you can do that if you really wanted. But I am really happy with how this turned out. There's a great amount of play value here. You can swap these guys on any of the other Titans Return figures, and you can just have a great deal of fun. Now, going back to his, I mean, obviously you got him in his bird mode, so you could have him sit right there if you really wanted to. But going back to his little dinosaur mode, you're going to want to take his arms and fold them forward, because like I said, these little arms become the little arms in his dino mode. And then you take this section right here, rotate this around, you got this little slot on the top side of his jaw that you're going to peg this into. So you put that right there, and then you kind of just lay him down, and make sure that when you're doing it, you kind of leave a little bit of a gap here. So you're going to put his head in this little slot section right there, locking that in. Make sure that you leave a little bit of a gap there, because then you bring these down, and these little sections right on the inside here slot underneath there. So if you don't have that head sticking up a little bit, it's going to be harder to tuck that away. So just bring that in and give that a nice little push, lock that into place. Again, you got his little arms now coming through here. You're going to rotate these little legs around just like that. Take this section, tuck that down, and there you have CRASHBASH in his dinosaur mode. And like I said, I think this is the best looking of his 3 modes. The bird mode's not bad. The gun mode I think is the weakest. But all in all, play value wise, I really think this guy has it. I like the way that he turned out. Like I said, it is an homage to this. A lot of these little Titan Master figures are homages to those characters that we just basically got in comic books. So it's cool that they're able to sort of incorporate those and give them to us in any kind of way. And it makes sense to kind of do it in something like this. I really do like this. Even as a collector, I mean, a lot of these little smaller figures I don't care too much about for my display, but I'm happy with them. I think kids are really going to like it just because of the play value that's offered here, and I think collectors are going to like it because it's a way to kind of get those characters that this actually expands on that, and I think that's great. CRASHBASH here, as well as the rest of the first wave of Titan Master figures, is currently available right now at Big Bad Toy Store. So to pick this guy up, all you have to do is click on the link down in the video description. You'll go to BBTS, where you can check out availability on this guy, as well as the rest of the Titans Return figures. But beyond that, guys, that's about it. So once again, I want to thank you for tuning in. This has been Optibotimus. Don't forget that if you like this video, to please like and share it. Also, be sure to subscribe in case you haven't already subscribed. That way you never miss a future review of mine. And as always, until next time, I'll talk to you later.